Greetings from Melbourne, Australia, to every one of you gathered today in London to celebrate the life of Dr. Siva Memorial. Greetings from Melbourne, Australia, to every one of you gathered today in London to celebrate the life of Dr. Sivanandan. I am Siva Memorial. Sivanandan was my oldest cousin. He also happens to be my brother-in-law, as I'm married to his baby sister. As I recollect some of my personal and treasured memories of my interactions with my cousin Sivanandan, I may also represent the sentiments of all our extended family members scattered throughout the globe. My wife Ramani, the youngest in the family by 16 years to Sivanandan, she always used to say that she didn't really know him when she was growing up because he left home to move to the University of Colombo Medical School and Bloemfontein Hostel. However, I have vivid memories of Dr. Sivanandan, my Periyamachan, being a frequent visitor to our home in Colombo. Whenever he was free on weekends, he visited his Asamama and Mami, my parents. My mum was fond of feeding him. They were so proud of their Periyathambi, as he was known to all the elders in our extended family. He was the first to go to medical school in our family, I guess being the source of unmatched pride for all of them. The way he conducted himself with the family and their adoring love towards him left an indelible mark on me as I was growing up. I reflected on this and spoke to him when it was my turn to go to the University of Colombo Medical School and the famous Bloemfontein. Once he started working as a doctor in Sri Lanka, the highlight to all of us was the love and respect his non-medical staff colleagues displayed towards him. Whilst he had the respect of his superiors and colleagues, it was the effortless manner in which he interacted with staff and people from all backgrounds, and their genuine affection towards him was unmatched. This was very evident when he was working at the Jaffna Hospital doing obstetrics and gynecology training. Once he moved to the UK, Yogesaka and his three precious girls, Anu, Abhi and Adi, were his priority. However, he developed enduring friendships with the UK Tamil community. In fact, whenever we met him, all he talked about were his friends and the work they were doing for the emancipation of our long-suffering kith and kin in Sri Lanka. He was immensely proud of the Medical Institute of Tamils and all the other endeavours generated from the UK. The Tamil cultural identity was an unshakable faith for him, and everything Tamil motivated him for greater things. During his adult life, the most enduring attributes that stood out for me were his integrity, dignity, and sense of self-esteem about who he was, who we, his family, were, and who we as a Tamil nation. The ego and self-esteem conferred a level of confidence that gave us an edge of arrogance. In Tamil, we describe this as Rumapu or Seruk. Yogesaka was his pillar of strength and everything to him. Without her, he would not have coasted along in his life and work. Yet, he was fiercely independent and never wanted to be a burden to anyone. He was also stubborn to a fault. His girls were his prized gifts and his grandkids were his passion. When Adan, his pride and joy, visited us in Melbourne with him, he made him plant a tree which to this day stands to greet anyone who enters our house. None of us have recovered from the deep sorrow and the shock of losing our beloved Perimachan Periyan to my wife, and Periyalambi to all the elders in our extended family. Some of us are traumatized by the fact we could not even get to see him in person. COVID pandemic has wrought its havoc, you all know, in the UK better than anyone else. I had the privilege of talking to him many times over the FaceTime video during the last 2 months of his life. It was painful to see him trying to rationalize the natural history of his illness. It was also striking to see the steely determination he had in trying to understand his ailment, decide what was best for his family, and the meticulous planning he undertook to take care of all of his affairs. He did not want to be a burden even for a short time to anybody. He certainly did not want the family to despair. In the end, with the love of his family, prayers and wishes from all those who knew him, and the confidence and arrogance to stare death in its face, he chose to leave us all with the integrity and dignity that defined his entire life. I hope and pray that soon we will be able to travel to UK and be with Yogesh Akka and the girls and celebrate the life of our beloved Periyajan, whose loss is irreparable. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on this special day. Thank you.
Sorry about all that. No, just between the. Sorry about all these technical problems. That was a very endearing speech from message from Australia. Now, let me next call upon Dr. Sarada Nakkunaraja, former president of Medical Institute of Tamils, who will be enlarging on Siva's devotion to me and other voluntary work. Dr. Nakkunaraja. Video call,
Ladies and gentlemen, in my introduction, earlier, I referred to 4 medical professionals who established this charitable organization a quarter century ago. It's time for us to meet them and honor them. മര്യാദ സെലുത്തുവോ? அவர்களுக்கு அறிமுகம் அனாவசியம் என்றாலும் அவர்களின் பெயரை நான் சொல்ல விரும்புகிறேன். Please give a big hand to Dr. Sinathurai Mahendran, Dr. Nallayya Sivanandan, Dr. Murugesu Selvaratnam. We have a fourth founder, Dr. Veerasingham Nirminathan, who is unfortunately abroad at present. He has asked his family member, Sister Dr. Kuhaini Thuraraja, to represent him to receive this award. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, our founders. He had a method with the other members on how to go about. There was no election at that time. They had to headhunt. They managed to
Fire. Hello.